Great result. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, really pleased for the group. I think, kind of epitomises the culture that we have at the club. I think, when you look at the lads, the intensity, the discipline, the focus, the competitive spirit. I think it showed that throughout the game, and I'm delighted for the lads.
Little tweak, bringing Mo Issa in. Obviously, more of an out-and-out striker than maybe you've had in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's obviously a tough decision. It's a tough decision every week when you've got to leave people out. But I think when we looked at how we thought we could get success today, I thought we needed some legs to get across the pitch to threaten the depth, and put in a real honest performance as a 9. And I think that again shows today. We attack as a team, we defend as a team. We don't carry anybody, and I think the guys showed that today.
He's becoming quite the player at those one-on-ones, to the point you're expecting him potentially to score.
Yeah, no, he's done well in them situations this year. He's probably frustrated that other times he's not had more, but I think what all the guys have to do is, in the team, not in the team, be ready to step in when you're required. And I think that's such an important message for the guys, because it's such a demanding league. It's so intense that you do need them, and we have to be able to make changes, and people physically and mentally have to be in the right place to step in when that opportunity arises.
Connor Wickham, he gives you something different. Obviously he hasn't had too much game time. It was possibly written how he would score his first goal here.
Yeah, I think look, I'm delighted for Connor. I think he said earlier he was annoyed at me yesterday for not picking him, but again I think it's making sure that he's ready to step on, and I think he showed the professionalism today to step on and deliver when required, and I'm sure it was a special moment for him.
You could have had another as well right at the end.
Yeah, that would have made a nice 30 seconds at the end, rather than the stress that we did have. So I'm sure he's beating himself up about that.
Another thing that the team are doing, defending these leads. You've had them at Portsmouth a little while back, kind of 2-1 up, in the last few minutes, and you're having to defend. Although you might say actually you defended pretty well and didn't have too many chances against you.
Yeah, no, I actually spoke with Jamie after the game. He didn't actually have too many saves to make. I think it's really important. We often get a lot of talk around the style with the ball. Obviously, we have we've built a certain reputation at the club, but I think what we also have to have alongside that is a real difficulty to beat. And I think we've shown that a few times this year. And if you want to win matches and you want to be in matches, in a position to get results, I think you have to be difficult to beat. You have to be compact. You have to have everybody buying into defending, and the guys are excellent at that today.
Josh McEachran, that was a great pass for the goal. Were you concerned though? Did you take him off because you were worried the referee was in his ear a little bit?
A little bit. We just spoke to him afterwards around what made him so angry today. But again, I think it showed a different side to him. I think credit to Josh. I think whether you're 20, 22 like some of the young lads, or Josh at 28, I think at that stage of the career you can still progress and develop and get better. And I think he's really, we know his quality with the ball. I think what he's really shown in recent weeks is that out of possession, that intensity, that counter pressing, getting up to the ball, and he did a really good job of that today.
Do you allow yourself to look at the league table ever?
No, I think it's one of them that I'd be naive to say I'm never going to look at it. I think as you draw into the later stage of the seasons, you have to. But there's so many points still to play for. I think it's take it game by game, and then obviously as we get closer to the run-in, see where we're at. But I think the message to the guys is, look, all we can control is week to week what we do, how we apply ourselves. So that was the message afterwards. That'll be the challenge going into Tuesday. Do all the preparation, and you have to start with that intensity that we showed today.
Okay, thank you.
David Kasumu didn't look like he'd just missed the last 6 weeks, did he, when he came on?
Yeah, no, he's a terrific physical specimen, David, and I think that when you look at it, he holds his conditioning really well, and a huge credit has to go to him. Even he's really progressed, I think, in terms of his attention to detail in the behaviours that he shows off the pitch. I think he's trained well, worked well. I think he's now starting to understand the importance of everything around it that is so important to become a high level professional, and ultimately, like all the guys, what we challenge him to do is become the best version of yourself. So he really looked after himself in conditioning wise when he was out injured, and again I thought he had a really positive impact for the team when he came on.
Is that something you tell your players when they're injured, to not just concentrate on the physical rehabilitation but also the mental side of the game as well then?
I think so. I don't think you stop learning. I think we sometimes when you get a player injured, it's kind of there you go. There's a medical room, and I think what we work really hard to do is make sure they keep learning, make sure they're still around the group, and continue to challenge them that way. And I think he's really bought into it, and he's in a really good place.
Troy's played a part in both goals today, but there's still no goals in September. He must be hugely frustrated, but also delighted that he's involved in the setup of the goals.
Yeah, and Troy wants to score goals, obviously, as any attacking player does. But I think he's really matured and understands now. I think what he shows is a real element of trust. The work he puts in out of possession, the honesty in tracking back, how he competes. And then he showed today, obviously, some moments of real quality to contribute for the goals. So if he keeps doing that, he'll score goals. I've got no worries about that.
And only one change. I mean, it feels like you're now starting to get a core of that side and almost an understanding of this is your starting team.
Yeah, but at the same point, I think we're going to have to make changes. In the running, we're going to have people ready to step in. I think, again, credit to the guys. If you look at the January we had, people have quickly forgotten that 4 or 5 of the lads that were starting consistently have gone, and players that have stepped in have delivered. And I think huge credit has to go to the staff and the players that were in and around it for the continuity in performance, the continuity in the culture that we have. And again, like I say, I can only praise the staff and the players.